Okay, welcome to day 13, lucky number 13. And if you're wondering why I have a different background and why I look so bundled up, it's because I'm in San Francisco right now. And as Mark Twain said, the coldest winter I ever spent was my summer in San Francisco. It is freezing. And I'm going to use this cold feeling that is keeping me nice and awake and alert to guide us into day 13, where now we are gently closing in. I have a friend here sniffing me. Yeah, we're slowly closing into the end of our experimentation phase. And this experimentation phase has been around, as we have been talking about all week, our needs. And we've addressed our key needs when it comes to our biology, our physiology. We've addressed that which we believe to be our physical needs, our body's needs. And we've called this health. And remember that health is a word that comes from wholeness. And it's really important that when we think about our health, that we think about what complete looks like for us, what it feels like. And this is something that I think Kay just posted a few minutes ago in the group, that she felt like she could not complete the journaling, just like Ashley had mentioned. So there's this need now that we are putting at the forefront of our practice when it comes to journaling, which is the need for completion. And this need for completion is the need for health. And I think she has a need to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to open the door. There we go. In addition to completion and health, we also addressed our relationships. And specifically, we worked with that which we consider our family or close friends or chosen family. And when you think about your family or the people you choose to be around, these are representations of yourself outside of yourself. And what do these representations of yourself outside of yourself do? Well, they give you a clear picture of what wholeness, what health means. And when we can see our family from this perspective, when we can see our families and our friends, and our communities from this perspective, we start to gain new insight. And what does this insight allow us to do? Well, it allows us to move in an individual direction, on an individual path. And that path we have addressed this week is expressed in our craft, that which we do. And this is a vehicle for self-expression. And on top of our craft, what our craft does is it contributes, it supports the system, it supports everything that we are and all those people that we connect with, including our environment and the planet. Now, where we are arriving today is at a place where we realize that although there is a lot of uncertainty in what life has in store for us, there's a lot that is certain. And if you simply start to pay attention, you realize that a few things are pretty certain, and those things are uncertainty. I'm probably going to have to open that door again. So just bear with me today with your patience. Yeah, if we look around and we look at nature, we begin to see that the sun rises, the sun sets. If we pay attention over time and we look at the night sky, we see the moon getting fuller and then getting less full as it goes through the lunar cycle. We see maybe even changes in the position of where the sun rises and where it sets. It moves to the north, it moves to the south. We start to notice that there are seasons. You got winter, spring, summer, fall. And in these patterns, what we begin to notice is that there is certainty. And why is certainty something that we should care about? Well, because certainty, when observed in nature, is showing us a path, a way. And we, as human beings, are working in sync, in alignment with that path. And the more that we can come to realize that we are influenced by these cycles, the more we can start to predict. Why is prediction something that we care about? Well, we talked about this before. One of the main tasks that our brain has is to predict what our next move is going to be. And with this prediction, it prepares our bodies to be physiologically ready to act. And we experience this prediction in the form of an emotion. The other reason it's important to notice these patterns in nature is that these patterns give us an anchor. What does this mean? Well, it gives us something to stand on, something that feels supported. Are you guys having as much fun as I am? That's predictable too. The dog has to go pee. It's going to go out. It's going to come back in. We don't know when exactly, but it's happening. And the more we can anchor ourselves in noticing these patterns, the more we can find this foundation, this stable ground to stand on. And what happens when we have a stable ground to stand on? Well, we feel safe. And when we feel safe, we are able to feel a little bit more clear. We feel the courage at heart to make decisions without questioning whether our decision is going to have a positive, negative outcome, or whether I could have made a better decision. In addition to predictability and anchoring, what it's also telling us is it's addressing when it's time. Time has been a big part of our journaling, especially last week. It tells us when it's time to act. Think about when the night comes. Oh, the sun is setting. I should start to think about preparation again. I'm predicting that it's time to go to bed. And when I go to bed to go to sleep, I know that I'm entering into a practice, a behavior that has value for us as human beings. It's a very basic need to sleep. And when we can get that need met, it adds value to us. And this predictability, this anchoring, and the noticing of the timing is everything when it comes to the game of life. And by noticing these patterns, what we begin to do is that we realize that we are working not only in sync with these patterns, but we're also influencing the way that we engage with these patterns. Right now, we live in a modern time where everything is very safe. We don't have to necessarily go back into our caves. We have a lot of protective gear that we can put on. I'm wearing a beanie right now because I was a little cold, and I'm wearing a sweater, and I'm comfy in this little room. I have a car out there that can drive me places. Yeah, we have a lot of accessibility. Thus, our impact from these natural patterns that occur, these waves that occur, these cycles that occur, affect us less. But how do we influence them? Well, we influence them by expressing ourselves. And this expression, this is kind of like the poet Antonio Machado said, is that el camino se hace caminando, which is the way is made by walking it. And what does this mean to us? Well, this means that as we are walking, we are not only revealing where we're going, but we're also creating where we're going. In other words, every step of the way, you have an opportunity to make a new choice, to create a new direction. And the more you can work with the natural tendencies that our environment has, the more fluid it becomes. So one of the things that we're really doing here is we're noticing that that which is certain in our environment has a foundation, has an anchor in the certainty that we have internally. I'm looking at Kyra right now, and one of the conversations that we had a few months ago now when talking about practice was around how our environment also can be chaotic. And when we realize that chaos is self-organizing, all of a sudden we become a part of that which is happening. And you can use the quote, which I don't know who said it, but when things are falling apart, maybe they are falling into place. That comes into play. So the exploration of today, day 13, leading into the end of our experimentation, is around certainty. And one of the things that we are doing as we're working with noticing that which is certain and addressing the patterns that exist in nature is that as we move, we are acquiring new knowledge, new understanding, new behaviors, but we're also disposing of that which no longer serves us. And this is happening to you as we go through these 21 days together, because you're starting to notice that there is a new sense of decisiveness, of a need for not only completing but for revealing. And that revelation that is coming, that is the epiphany, that is the true understanding that we seek. And although it may not be crystal clear, you can sense it. And as long as you can sense it, then we are trending in the right direction. Now, for today's journaling, this one may get a little bit darker, but we're going to try to work with it. And thankfully, we're going to start with what we've been doing all week. So you know how to do this, which is the Valence-Arousal Model. You're going to mark your spot. You're going to describe how you're doing. You're going to take your BOLT score. You're going to score your sleep. And you're going to address all the questions that we've been addressing around sleep. You're going to continue to do the practices of focusing on your breath every hour for 2 minutes. I know a lot of you have fallen off of that. That's okay. This is a friendly reminder to just come back to it. Also, when you are eating, ideally, we're not listening to something. I see Phil and Sarah, they're not eating today, so maybe something is happening that's different. Regardless, once you've completed that part, you're going to enter into the prompts for today's journaling, and we have 5 of them. The first one is rather simple, but you're going to have to make a choice. And what it says is to recall 3 choices that you have made in your life that has led you to the lifestyle that you live today. 3 choices that you've made in your life that has led you to this moment and to this expression of who you are. Number 2 is to address what in your life feels certain. Not is, feels certain. What in your life feels certain? Number 3, how does certainty in your life currently serve you? So when you think about that which feels certain, how is it serving you? Number 4, knowing that change is the only constant. When you think about that which currently feels certain in your life, and you know that it's going to come to an end one day, what emotions does that evoke for you? When you think about that which is certain right now, that which is secure, that which allows you to anchor yourself, that which is a routine, a route, a path that you follow, knowing that that will come to an end, how does that feel? And the final prompt is, what are these emotions that come up when you think about the end, the change? What are these emotions telling you? What information is coming with these emotions? What is it revealing? This too shall pass, for better or for worse. The moment we're able to address the beginning and the end, and realizing that certain patterns can be experienced in a finite way, there's something that comes up. And that which comes up may be fear. But behind fear, if you begin to notice, there is a deep sense of appreciation. And the appreciation is for the experience itself. When things come to an end and you are able to fully close the cycle, which is something that we are going to do as we get into the last little bit of our 21 days together, you begin to embody not only the appreciation, but the value that exists within the experience that you had. And when you embody that which you have experienced, the value, that's when you begin to not only integrate, become one with, but you also begin to expand into new levels. And these expanded new levels are what we could call progress. And behind progress lies, in my opinion, the meaning of happiness. So that, my friends, is today. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. I apologize for the slight distractions in the back, but nothing is certain. You never know what you're going to get. But within the uncertainty of this moment, there is certainty in showing up. So one of the centering thoughts and questions you can ask yourself today is, how am I showing up today? And that's it. Okay, it seems like there are no questions. Lucky day 13. Tomorrow, I'll see you at the same time, maybe with the same background, who knows? Let that be a surprise. All right, much love, everybody. Happy journaling, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Happy Saturday, happy weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.